Hello, family. This is Power Mouth speaking More Life podcast, and I am your host, Glena Oyiadjo. I like to call myself your personal life speaker. Okay, and so today we are going to discuss a topic. It is called too many demands, and that means too many demands in life. Yes, because that's what we're living life at the moment. Okay, we have life at the moment, and this is episode 27 of season 3. So I am excited to get into this topic of too many demands, because I'm really sure that many people can relate to feeling as though there are so many demands in life that it can take a toll. So join me. Okay, so living this life, it can get demanding. And sometimes you may not look at it that way because obviously, when you have your family, it's your family life, right? So you do what you need to do within your family. Obviously, when you go for a job, you do what you need to do within that job and so forth. If you have, commitments within the place of your worship, then there are certain roles and certain things that are required of you. Okay, so life requires us to show up and to add to it, add our value to it as well. But when does it become too much? When does it seem like it's just relentless, non-stop demands on our life? I believe that if you don't kind of check your life, meaning like really look at the things that are being demanded of you, which might not need might not be necessary, shall I say. I'm losing my words here. Okay, but just flow with me. Okay, it might not be necessary, or it could be kind of put back, or it could be kind of eliminated full stop. I mean, there's all kind of demands. So okay, let's just get a bit more structure to it and just get into this. Right, let's firstly start off with with our families. You can't help but to have certain demands when it comes to our family, certain requests. If you're a parent, then you're going to be requested, you're going to be called upon. If you got cheeky children, you're going to be commanded. All right, okay. So and let's hope that nobody is dictating. Okay, but you are going to receive a lot of attention in the ways of people are requesting things from you. And in some seasons, some days it might be totally fine because you're used to that. You're used to that kind of routine. But then there may be some time in your life, or there may come a season in life where even the normal demands of life just become a little bit overwhelming. And why can it become overwhelming? It's because maybe something has happened within life. Maybe a tragedy has happened within life. Maybe sickness has come into your life, or something. There may be a distressing time or conflict that might be happening in life, and so the everyday demands of life, it can just seem too much. And so that's where a person can feel like, what, this is just a little bit overwhelming and it is taking a toll on me. And the same could be said for work. Obviously you have been given a role to do. There are things that are expected of you in the workplace, and so you are there. You're getting paid to fulfill that position. You are getting paid to do your best in that position, and and therefore it is right to give our best when it comes to work as well, just as we should give our best to our families. But again, things happen in life and it can become overwhelming. It could be a change within your work, your work system. It could be different new colleagues. It could be something else implemented into your work that is different from what you're used to, and that could add added stress on to you, because you are requested, you are called upon, even commanded to follow with these new rules or new regulations, or to do these new projects. And so it can put a toll on a person. It can become quite overwhelming. Not only that, but going to work, it doesn't mean that your family life and everything else in your personal life is eliminated. No, you will have to deal with that as well. So this is what I'm talking about when it comes to too many demands in life. And I just want to speak about well, what can we do when we are feeling overwhelmed, when there's just seems to be so much going on. I believe that we should choose what we are called to. I believe that we should choose to what is the word, to respond to certain requests, and that certain requests we don't have to respond to. I'm not saying to be nasty about it or horrible about it, but just certain requests from people, right, that is putting a toll on you, where you're not working effectively. I believe we should be able to say, you know what, I'm not able to do this. Can it happen in a workplace? Some people will be raising their eyebrows like, nah, I don't think that can quite happen in a workplace, or I'm going to get fired. Well, maybe so. I don't know, but there's got to be a balance somewhere. And, if you do have understanding work colleagues or boss, then you should be able to go to them and say, you know what, this is how I'm feeling right now. And, it depends on your workplace, really, doesn't it? So that is quite a broader spectrum, because different people work in different work settings, and different things are required of different people. All right, so I think where there is more control is in our personal lives, even though some may look and say, you know what, in my personal life, in my family life, I have lost control. There is no control whatsoever. But I believe that if a person really sits down and reflects upon their life, that they are able to pull back from certain things. And when I mean pull back from certain things, I mean really check and see, like, do I really need to respond to this at this time? It doesn't mean forever, but at this time, can I actually take a break from these requests, from these orders, from these commands, from this person that's dictating my life? And I believe we can, because that's our choice of freedom, that we can do so. Especially when a person is feeling run down or even burnt out, I use that term burnt out because that is a very serious thing that can happen to somebody, where it can be so drastic to where the person, they just can't do, they physically, like mentally, like they are like shattered. They are just they're just like a shell. There's nothing within them. They just feel absolutely hopeless. It can affect their emotions drastically, to where they are just feeling really emotional, and even depression can come into it, and anxiety, and just a loss of just vibrancy, a loss of get up and go in life. And so, when it comes to that point, things have to halt and people have to halt. And that's where a person needs to take more control of their life. Even in that time of feeling weak, they have to really reach out to somebody that they know can help and support them as well, just to get them to a place of feeling more like themselves and better and strengthened as well. And for me, what I'm going to say, pray about it, because if I'm at a point of feeling that low, even I believe getting to that level of feeling low, I am reaching out to God. In fact, I reach out to God every day when I feel like there's a lot of workload and there's a load of things going on, and sometimes in life unexpected things come your way, I have to like, Lord, please take this load from me. Yeah, Lord, help me. I need to put on the full armor of God, the full armor of God. And I have to be, mindful of myself as well, because I'm stretching myself here, there, and everywhere. And I don't want to stretch myself too far that I just like snap. There's no more Glena, come on. So we all have to be mindful of how far we're being stretched. And are we being required to do things that, I was going to say beneficial. Yeah, actually, I am going to say that. Yeah, beneficial. Are we required to do things that is beneficial to us? Now, I'm not trying to say this in a selfish kind of way, but okay, so for example, if somebody can easily do something, they're able to do it, but yet they just fully, totally rely on one person to do it, which is yourself, when they are totally able to do it, and it's not like they got anything else going on or anything else that they really need to do, then I believe, a person can say, hang on a minute, like I actually need some time out too. That's what I believe. One should be able to balance their life in such a way that they have that they are not being toppled over. Now, I do understand that some people's lives are way busier than others. That's just how it's set up, always on the go, and that's fine. And you know what? God will not give unto you more than you can manage. But I'm telling you, man will give to you more than you can manage to lighten their load as well. That's the thing. I have seen and heard some really despicable stories of people just taking bare liberties. They're just taking the utmost liberties with another person who they may believe is vulnerable, or they're so kind, they're so sweet, they won't say anything, and they really do take the biscuit, and it's just out of order. And so when people face many demands in their life that is burdening them, more time it's coming from people. Well, actually, I don't have statistics, so I can't say more time, but I would presume that there are a lot of people that feel this way because of others that are just dumping on them, and they do so to make their life easier with no consideration for the other person. And there there does need to be an absolute stoppage, if that's a word. Yes, it is a word, I believe. Or they need to pull back from that person that is just sucking the life out of them and leaving them with nothing but distress. Family members can do it. Yeah, they can do it. As much as they love you, if they know that you are well able and equipped to do something, sometimes their consideration goes out the window, and they're just thinking of, to get the job done, or they were able to do it, let's just put this on them. And sometimes they need to just be woken up and shown listen, come on, I need a bit of help. Workplaces can do it as well. If they feel under pressure, it may be a lack of staff as well. Then those who are left within the workplace that already know what to do, well, there's going to be added pressure onto them. It can happen within the church as well, or any place of worship. It can happen where there's a whole load of things just put onto one person. And I've heard stories about it. Of the, even top leaders given these heavy responsibilities to somebody that really and truly they just needed to come and just be in the presence of God. And so they've just overwhelmed this person with all these other different things in such a short time whilst they kind of rested off. I couldn't believe it. And I still don't believe it. And, and so those kind of stories there, I just feel like it's just ridiculous, because we're supposed to be working as a team. We're supposed to have a good team structure. And so I thank God that within my church, we have a good team structure. Everybody shares the load, and, we're able to, serve well, and, we're able to progress in the Lord as well. When I also think about demands, I think about, our youth as well, because there is so many demands on our youth. And, some people listening, they may think, but what demands are on them? But there's many demands in life. Okay, so look at demand as peer pressure. Children, they can face a lot of peer pressure from within school, from their friendship groups as well. I'm not saying that somebody is like bashing them over the head and saying, do this, whatever. But, we know that when somebody is amongst others, they maybe tend to do the same thing that they do as well, because there's a level of feeling pressurized into doing that. And then not only that, but if we even come outside of the friendship group, and that, let's look at the influence that there is on them. And you may think influence, but yeah, because when you have so much influencers or people that's influenced them, or even music, it's a call to our youth to kind of do the same thing and to be the same way as well. Okay, that's how trends are started, right? Okay, so you have all of that going on, and sometimes we don't look at demands being like that, but there are many demands on our youth. When you think about some of the legislations that have been put in place, okay, that can affect our children, and sometimes made to be seen as though they're helping our children, but really it just causes confusion, and it puts pressure on children, and likewise it puts pressure on parents too. So these are the kind of commands that come into place. Some may say that they've been dictated to, and I don't think many would disagree. But this is life. This is what happens in life. It's been like that from time ago. It's like that now, and I believe it will continue, if not even get worse. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to cast a shadow or anything, but we are talking about demands, too many demands within our lives. And so I'm just trying to look at the different areas where these demands are faced. And so, as I said, families, workplace, relationships, faith-based places, and law. Yeah. And so this is why it is so important, okay, to talk to our children, because it doesn't matter how they may appear. I mean, we like to say that, okay, if a teenager's like just being moany, then that's just like how it is. But, just check it out. It could be that they're just really moany. Okay, they just got a moany face or whatever. But I believe that they may just have some things that might be going on. And so it's better to ask and inquire, and just be conscious that, things may be going on. And it might not be somebody that is shaking them every day and saying, do this, do that. But it could be the call of, or the call that they feel that they must answer to through the influences, or the influencers that they see or that they're hearing as well. Okay, So we have to be mindful of that. So it may be quite different from maybe, you know, the demands that an adult may feel, but a demand is a demand. And in the dictionary, it's defined as, you know, request, a call, command, order, and dictate. And you've heard me mention all of these words. I believe that time management is crucial when it comes to this topic of, you know, too many demands, because that is what it is. It's not enough time to relax or to just like have that time to yourself where you can even think. Sometimes the brain is going too much because you've got to do this, got to do that, got to do this, and there's no time for that person to really sit down and be them and be them. They're being everything else for everybody else. And as you know, we're only one person. And so we have to be able to kind of like sit down and just draw back some energy, just get some, you know, be revived, get our energy back. And many people don't get to do that. And so time management is very crucial as well as people management as well. How many people are demanding things from our lives that really and truly they don't need to be in that space to be demanding those things, you know? And it's just irrelevant added pressure to life, which, you know, is already got enough things going on. So even then, if, you know, there's somebody that's just there just taking bare liberties, then, you know, they need to be told in love and just maybe shown that, you know what, I actually need some time to myself to breathe. I believe that the conclusion, or shall I say the solution to living a life with so many demands, and you know what, don't get me wrong, in life, sometimes in life you're going to get some seasons where like it is really crazy busy because you may be planning for like big events and stuff, or you may have a new baby coming into the family, and so yeah, you're going to have those extra you know, requests and extra things happening, going on in life as well. And yeah, that is life, that's fine. But what I'm really trying to get here is just the ones that it's insignificant. And if there's no insignificant kind of demands in your life, then like I said, it's about managing your time so that you get some time for yourself out of this. You get a treat, or you get some restoration, you know, from this busy life, because you will be able, some way, somehow, by doing some reshuffling, okay, by getting some form of support from others, you'll be able to kind of pull back some time for yourself so that you can feel strengthened again. All right. So as I was saying, I just believe that the conclusion, the solution is that if anybody's feeling this way, then it is upon that person to make the necessary arrangements so that they can benefit from everything that's going on in life. They can benefit from some time that they are able to be restored as well. Because sometimes if we don't speak up, if you don't speak up, even your loved ones around you, they don't know. They just think, oh, she's getting on with it, or he's getting on with it. He's fine. Look at them, Superman, Superwoman, when really you're suffering. So just speak up be truthful. And yeah, this thing right here as well, because people are looking at you and expecting you to have this S on your chest. You want to fulfill that. Listen, even Superman and Superwoman, they felt they got weak at some times, okay? Especially when kryptonite was around them, all right? And sometimes all these demands in life can be like a kryptonite that just weakens a person until they're burnt out. So it's important that you manage your time well and remember that you are a person, and there's nothing to prove. You don't have to prove, because I have never seen a person that can fly yet, okay? The only flying we can do is when we book the air ticket and we are actually in an aeroplane that flies us into the clouds, into the sky, okay? We do not just have wings that sprout out and we can fly and be in a place in a part of a second, right? That's not real life. So let us, operate as though we're in real life. We're not superheroes. So I just encourage each and every person just to keep it real. And if something needs to be pulled back on, then pull it back. If something needs to be said, then say it. If you need support, speak about it. And just make sure that you're taking care of yourself, because there's only one you. And also, before I close, think about other people as well. So I've spoken about our youth as well and what they may be possibly going through as well. And it might not look like the demands that we are receiving in life, but it could be different in terms of all the influences around them that's calling them, and they feel like they have to answer to that, which isn't necessarily the best kind of influences that we want our children to be drawn to or to answer, right? So think about them, and also think about somebody, think about others that in our eyes, they look like they can do anything. But remember that sometimes they just need to sit down and just do nothing and just rest themselves and be restored. All right. So that's it for me today. I just wanted to speak about the demands in life, because I believe, as I said before, that we can all relate to the many demands that can happen in our life. And so we are the ones that have to manage it in such a way that we are not feeling too under pressure for too long. All right, so to the next time, Power Mouths, this has been your personal life speaker, Glena Oyiadjo. And to the next time, take care and God bless. If you think it and believe it and you speak it, if you think it and believe it and decree it, power.